Welcome guys, this is Claudette with Miss Puff Creative Corner, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a small little gift bag. If you have scrapbook paper 12 by 12 or gift wrapping paper, that would do. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm using a 12 by 12 scrapbook paper that I got from Hobby Lobby, and this was 69 cents. I think I got it 40% off at the time, and I love this print. This is by the Paper Studio, and this is called Christmas Plaid. The only thing I don't like is that it has this writing to the back of it, but for the bag you want to make sure you cut this section off so it's not showing. So we're going to cut our paper size down to 12 by 8.5 inches. So now we're going to make some score lines. So on the longer side, we're going to score at 1/4 inch. So I'm going to make those nice and deep, especially for you guys to see. Then we're going to turn it on the 8.5 inch side, and we're going to score it at 1 inch. And then we're going to score the other end at 1.5 inches. So that's 3 score lines that we're going to have. So if your designer series paper is directional, you want to make sure the 1 inch is to the top of the design. So I find that it's better to have lighter paper when you're creating your gift bag because it's easy to manipulate. So when we're done with those score lines, what we're going to do is go ahead and fold on those score lines, and we're going to make sure they're nice and tight. Okay, so it's nice to go ahead and get your bone folder out if you have a bone folder, and go ahead and burnish those score lines. So if you guys are new to my channel and you like what you see, you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you could be notified when I upload my latest videos. So after we fold on the score line and define those score lines, we want to keep the 1.5 lip open. Okay, so we want to keep that fold open. The 1 inch fold is to the top of the bag, so we're going to keep that lapped over. So you're also going to need some glue. Okay, so we're going to glue right on that 1/4 inch fold, and we're going to tuck it right underneath that lip, and that's the lip, the 1 inch lip, and that's going to be the top of the bag. And so we're going to tuck that right into that lip so that seam, that little edge, could be seamless and just be inside of the bag. And we're going to glue those 2 edges together. And I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure that's nice and tight. And then after that, what I'm going to do is just walk it over to create a seam on the opposite end. So I'm going to walk it over and try to avoid getting any extra wrinkles in there. So I want it to be nice and smooth. So I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure those are nice creases. And this is where we're going to make our gusset edge. And those little creases are going to actually be the middle of the gusset edge. And that's where the seam is going to be, right in the middle. So it'll be look seamless. So we're going to go ahead and put it back on the scoring board. So the opening or the short side of the bag is going to be to the top of your scoring board. And we're going to score 1 inch on either side. So this is how the side gusset for the bag is created. So now we're going to fold those over and make it nice and tight. And especially if your paper is nice and thick, you want to fold it forwards and then flip it and fold it back. So you really want those score lines to be well defined. Okay, so now the seams that we created, we're going to go ahead and push those in, and those are going to be the valleys, and then we're going to pop out the mountains, and then give those a nice little press with your bone folder, and that's how we create our gussets to the sides. We're going to go ahead and fold the bottom lip up, the 1.5 inch up, and then the corners, we're going to bring down those airs, create a triangle. Make sure those corners are nice and squared, and when you bring around the triangle, you want to make sure it lines up right to the edge. And make sure your lines are nice and tight, and your score lines or your scoring is nice and tight, so you could go through all those layers of papers. So next what we're going to do is put the bottom side up, and you're going to fold in the center pieces from on the side, and then you're going to mold your little triangle pieces to the tip, and you're going to make sure those score lines are nice and tight. And then what we're going to do is, just like when you're wrapping a gift, you're going to go ahead and fold those over, and you're going to add your glue. And so once I'm adding my glue, what I'm going to do is just take my bone folder or the bottom of the bottle of the glue and press that in the inside so I could get good connection. And that's it. That's the base of your bag. So you could leave it as is and just fold it over, put a paper clip on it. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some holes so I could create some little handles. Before I put the holes in my bag to create my handles, what I'm going to do is add some reinforcement to the bag. I'm going to cut out a couple pieces of lightweight cardboard that I had from my Keurig box, and I am going to put a little piece to the bottom of the bag to make it nice and sturdy, as well as underneath the lip, the fold of the top of the bag, so it's going to reinforce the holes that I create for the handles. And you don't have to do this section. You could keep the lightweight cardboard as is because the craft color looks nice, but in this case what I'm going to do, since I have leftover scrapbook paper, I'm going to go ahead and cover it with the leftover scrapbook paper. So to get the measurements for the insert for the bottom of your bag, all you have to do is take your bag and lay it on top of the cardboard and trace around the bottom of the bag. You're going to cut that out just slightly smaller than the size of the bottom of the bag so it could fit. For the little cardboard for underneath the lip of the bag, so it's about 3/4 of an inch by an inch, and then I'm going to tuck those underneath the lip of the top of the bag, so where the holes are going to be punched, or you could use eyelets to make those little holes reinforced. It's nice because especially if you're going to be putting heavy gifts in there, it's going to be hard for you guys to see. I did add some glue too as well. So when you create your holes, they're reinforced holes. So once I get that done, I'm going to bring in my crocodile and I am going to put the holes to the top. I'm going to use a smaller hole on the crocodile. It has 2 settings for the holes. I'm going to use the smaller ones, and I'm going to go in like 3/4 of an inch down from the top. And then I'm just going to eyeball and walk it over and create the second hole. And keep in mind that your top fold, you don't want to make the hole too far down that you miss your reinforced segment. So I am going to take some ribbon to create my handles, and I cut these ribbons 14 inches and they were a bit long, and I'm just going to create knots to the end of it so they won't fall out. So I am going to put the ribbons on either side for the handles. Okay, so the measurements now, the final bag measurements, when we're done, the width of the bag is about 3 7/8 inches, and then the length of the bag is about 5 7/8, and then the gusset side is about 2 inches. Just so you could get an idea of what fits in here, I could easily fit 3 of these 2-ounce acrylic paint. So next up is all you have to do now is embellish your bag. So you could add a tag on there, or you could add an ornament. And I think the ornament pieces are nice because this is something they could take and hang on their tree. So on my first sample, I didn't reinforce the bag. So if you look to the bottom, you could see how the inside of the bag looks. So I hope you guys got creative value from today's video. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button down below. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Claudette, and I'll catch you guys on that next video.